Taking the day, I am taking the day.
Hey family, are y'all ready to take the day? You ready to get after it? Look, y'all, I hope y'all had a fantastic week. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, go ahead and click subscribe. Now it's free. Didn't cost you nothing. Just go ahead and go. It's good. It's gonna be good. I'm telling you, it's gonna be good. Cause today I'm gonna be completely transparent. Well, I shouldn't say completely transparent because it's only you got to be careful to a degree. But I'm certainly gonna share with you as much as I can. And today we're gonna be talking about living courageously. And like I really had to think about how did I want to say that. I really like the word with audacity, but sometimes audacity has a tone of insolence to it, or rudeness, or brazenness. And I certainly want to capture the word brazen because I love words. But I don't just want it to feel disrespectful, because it's not disrespectful in any way to live your life with courage. And I hope I'm saying that in a great way. And here's how we arrived at this, and it's hot off the press because this has been on my mind the entire weekend. One of the benefits of being around different groups of people, so first, and I'm starting right here, have different group of people that you spend time with from time to time. Your minds, different people will stimulate your mind differently, and they push the boundaries of how you experience life. If you are around like-minded people all the time, or people that think exactly like you, there is no one to push your boundaries. So that's one of the beautiful things about what happens in college, is that you get the opportunity to be around people who think differently from you. And over the course of homecoming weekend, I certainly had that happen, and I want to share that experience with you guys. So over the course of the weekend, I was hanging out with my homecoming buddies. I got two buddies that I hang out with primarily for homecoming, and we get together and we have these really deep, profound life conversations, and they are daring in an area of life that I diminish in. We all have areas of our lives where we diminish, or we experience fear, or we have a level of we're timid in a particular area. We all have that. And in this particular area, they're not timid. They're bold. They're free, honey. And Angela over here like, no. Now, when it comes to me expressing myself in certain ways, or work, or preaching, or other things, I'm not timid at all. I'm not timid. I'm not afraid of looking foolish or any of those kinds of things. I don't have any of that. However, I do have my area that I am a wee bit timid and fearful in. And sometimes we think we'll outgrow certain things, and you don't. You think, oh, I'll outgrow being uncomfortable in certain situations, or I'll outgrow being timid when I'm around higher level executives. I remember when I was going through that at work, where when we have, United Healthcare has regional, leadership. And then there would be times where like national leaders would come in, and I would feel a little bit like, uh-oh, I'm a little bit concerned here. Wait a minute, let me make sure that I'm at the dinner table, and let me make sure that I am, being appropriate here. I would have a little bit of timidness in those situations when I first started really working with higher levels of leadership. That was something I struggled with. And I had to spend time to figure out how to get comfortable and what I needed to be comfortable in those situations. And I need to do the same thing with this. So while it was hot and fresh, because y'all, as I was driving back, it was just on my mind. Like, how is this still, circulating in my mind, and how do I fix it? Like, how do I grow beyond this place? Because there's always something we're going to be working through. It's life. But are we ignoring it? Or are we trying to figure out how to move beyond it? How do I grow from it? How do I push how I experience this part of my life? Are we doing that, right? So I want you to think about, what is the area that requires courage? Where am I a little bit fearful? Where am I a little bit uncomfortable? Where is there the opportunity to grow? Once you have that in mind, because you have to stop being on autopilot. We experience things on autopilot without really thinking about what's really happening. I don't want you to be on autopilot. Stop being on autopilot. I want you to stop and really think about, what is the area that I want to grow in? What is the area that I'm uncomfortable in? The next thing I want you to do is make a decision to do it anyway. Now, you might have to stop and figure out how I am going to do this thing. You're going to have to stop and say, what do I need in order to do this thing? So, I decided the next year for homecoming, I am not going to be working and operating and living in fear. Okay, so for this particular setup, so how am I going to do that? Now these bracelets, how am I going to really actively, what do I need to not live in fear, to not execute in fear? What do I need? Because the goal is to live, exist, and express myself in freedom, in boldness, and in brazenness if I desire to do so. So how do I do that? In a courageous way. How do I do that? One, I'm not going to be on autopilot. I am making this the goal. Two, now that this is the goal, how do I support this goal? How do I line my mind up and my actions up to support this goal? That means mentally, I have to think, I'm free. Mentally, I have to think, I can do this. I am doing this, and do this, and then make decisions that support what I'm going to do. That way my mind and actions are in alignment. Now I have my tentative list for what I'm going to do. And I say tentative because it's pretty meaty. Like I don't mean like it's long. It's not long. This is about 5 things. But they good things. I didn't pick something small. You know how I told you all last week, pick one thing. So your homework for today, for this week, is to pick one thing that requires courage and audacity to execute. And do that. All right, everybody, that's all I have for you for this homecoming follow-up edition of Coffee and Conversation with Angela. Go out there, get out there, and take the day with me in the morning. I'm taking my dad to the VA. If you see me out there, come on and have lunch with me. All right, guys. I wish you the best. Have a fantastic week.
Taking the day, I am taking the